Hello Papercrafters! Welcome to another Design with Jo video. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. Today I want to share a project with you where I've taken completed Zentangle pieces, tiles that I've done, and turned them into birthday cards. So here I've used the large numbers Framelits and made a birthday card, and I want to show you exactly how I've done that. If you're not familiar with Zentangle, the founders of it, Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts, describe it as an easy-to-learn, relaxing, and fun way to create beautiful images by drawing structured patterns. And you can see here how we're creating patterns here with the same images over and over again. And it is actually very simple to learn. It's very meditative, almost very mindful, and it's a great way for me to wind down in an evening after I've had a busy day. So you can have a tile, and they would look great just on a card all by itself, but I wanted to create something a little bit different. So I wanted to actually take my Zentangle and cut it out into number shapes so that I could make some happy birthday cards. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So to start, you need a few Zentangle pieces, or even just one will do, and you're going to photocopy it. You could do your original and cut out your original, that's perfectly fine. I like to keep my original and I can use them over and over again. And what I do is I create a photocopy just on my printer at home, and this is Whisper White cardstock, the regular, so it's not too thick. It will run through my printer just fine, so test yours and see if it will work. We're going to place our framelits on top of our Zentangled copy, and we're going to cut it out. So this is easy enough to move around and see where we might like to have the cutout. I sort of like this here because the flux, which is the name of the pattern in behind there, is mimicking the shape of the 2. So I could try and get my 9 out of the same piece, and it would work just fine there, but I want to see if I can get one that has a little bit more darkness on it than all that lightness. So I'm going to maybe take it and put it on here. Now in here I've got a lot of the same pattern, so I want to move that around because I want to see some different patterns in my 9. So that one actually looks not too bad. Maybe move it up just a smidge. And so I'm going to take these over to the Big Shot right now, and I'm going to run them through. Okay, so here I have my 2 and my 9, so I'll just pop those out, and they come pretty easily because this is just a regular Whisper White. I'm going to keep these because there could be other things that I want to cut out at a later point. So pop them out of our framelits, and I've got 29, which actually looks pretty cool just by itself. So here's everything that you need to complete this card. We're going to use the number of years stamp set, which is also retiring, and we're going to use the TH, the happy, and the again in there. This is a great set to work with the large number framelits because the framelits are the exact same size as the numbers, and you could stamp them and cut them out. Doesn't look like it here, but this has been reduced in size just to fit on the front. When you turn it over, you can see, perhaps you can see the 9 there is actually the same size as my framelit. So that's great. So we're going to use that. We're going to use a piece of thick Whisper White, and this one is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Your Memento Tuxedo Black stamp pad, a piece of basic black, a piece of our champagne gold foil, which is just beautiful. This came out with the holiday catalog and has stayed around. And we're going to need our 29 again. We have it cut out here already. We need a piece of our shimmer black ribbon, which I just love. It is very, very flexible ribbon, and it's got a beautiful sheen to it. Hopefully you can see the little sparkle in there. I really like using that. And then you're going to need your layering ovals. I'm going to do an oval on this card, and we're going to use the second largest plain oval, and we're going to use the largest scallop oval. If you don't have a set of ovals or circles or squares, these really are probably a must-have in everybody's set of framelits. You'll get use over and over and over again out of these. All right, so we're ready to get going with our card. So you're going to need to cut out of your black the smaller plain oval, and then out of the champagne foil, the scalloped oval, and your 29. So I will go away to the Big Shot and come back with those. So I've got those done. So the first thing you can do is take your snail and you're going to just put your snail, smaller black oval over top of the gold foil one, centering it as much as you can. Then you're also going to take your numerals and you're going to create shadow, and you can have a bigger shadow if you wish, or you can have a pretty thin little shadow. I'll put it against the black, maybe you can see that better. And when you're doing this, we're going to use our mono liquid glue. And when you're adding the glue, I would put it on the back of the two and just put it in the center of the two as opposed to all the way around it, because not all of the paper is going to be glued onto the foil. You can sort of see there that it's going to extend or overlap. So I'll go ahead and do that with my 9 and my 2. Then you're going to take that and put it on top of the on top of the foil. And I think I want about that much showing as a shadow. And you're going to do the same for the 9. And try and get the shadows equal in the width of the shadow that's showing. Okay, and let that sort of dry just for a couple minutes. Now we're also going to need our dimensionals, which I'm sorry I forgot to tell you as a supply as well. And I'm going to use the mini dimensionals, and I like the minis because they will fit on here and I don't have to do any cutting down. Okay, so now that we have our dimensionals on, we are just going to peel them off. Lay it down just very gently to start with, because if we're going to try and center these, and if you put it down too much, it's going to stick, and then you might possibly, if you lift it up, tear a little bit of your cardstock. So try not to do that. We're just going to place it gently. We're going to try and center the 29 together, and I think that that looks pretty good. And then you can just finish it off. You can just tighten it up a little bit, or what's the word I want? You can actually press it down a little bit so it'll stick. We'll pull in our card again, and our 29 is going to go in the middle of the card, and we're going to stamp happy again and the TH. So I'm not going to glue this down first. I'm going to stamp my happy. So I've inked it up with my tuxedo black, and I'm going to put it in the middle of the card. I'm going to try and get it straight without getting my head in the shot. There's my happy. And I'm going to put that as close to the 29, so it's not going to be quite in the middle of the card. I'm going to do again down at the bottom. And our little TH, I'm going to leave the TH until last. So I'm going to put down my ribbon now. And I'm just going to use snail to put the ribbon on and place that so it's going to be in the middle of the oval. There, that's a little bit better. And then I'm going to use glue to put down my oval. And try again to get that in the center of the card. There we are, and we're going to do our TH off to the side here. We're just going to stamp that. So there we go. That's all that you need to make a Zentangle card with your number framelits. So this is a great card to give to a friend. If you wanted, you could take another piece of your Zentangle and put it inside here, perhaps an exclamation mark or just a line of color going down the side would be great as well. So I hope you enjoyed this project. If you do, please like it below and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have more great ideas at www.designwithjo.ca, and if you live in Canada and you don't yet have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your gal. I do post regularly on my blog, and I hope that you join in. Thanks very much and have a great day.